As we found out last week, government influences the way we live. We know that they communicate to each other and try to find solutions to our country's problems. We know this can be a very difficult task, so luckily we have a system in place called federalism, which helps share the power between the different levels of government. Today, we'll find out how federalism influences our daily lives. Today, we're taking information from two different sources to answer a question. Our question today is, how can government influence the way we live? You remember, that is our essential question for this whole unit, so we keep going back to it. Now, we've read a text called Solving Problems, and we've read the text, The State Government and Its Citizens. You need to be reminded about those stories and have those read to you again. You can go and click the picture that has the text on it so you can hear the story again. How can government influence the way we live? We know from solving problems that all three government levels work together as a team, especially if there's a storm or things, they give us food or shelter. In state government and its citizens, we found out a lot. We found out the state government provides many services to citizens, sometimes with the help of the federal government, and that included any transportation we need, any education, any emergencies or disasters that happen, they come in and help. We also found out that there are three branches of government that work together to write, carry out, and interpret the laws. Those three branches include the executive branch, which is the governor. They carry out laws. The legislative branch, they include legislators and create the laws. And then the judicial branch has judges and they interpret the laws. These are all things that we read in the article and took notes on. Now it's your turn. Want to take this information and the notes that we took from each text and write a response answering our question. Remember, our question is, how can government influence the way we live? Or we have information from solving problems that we want to add into our response, and we have information from state government and its citizens to add into our response. We started it off here. We have our first sentence already done. The state and federal governments influence the way we live in several ways. Then we started a second sentence. First, you're going to want to choose one, either solving problems or state government and its citizens, and go from there. So first, in solving problems, we find that, and then put in your information. Or if you want to start with state government and its citizens, that works as well. Whenever you want to write your responses, make sure we have information from both of the texts. And then at the very end, you want to take a wrap-up sentence that kind of wraps it all up, that lets us know, again, that government does influence the way we live. Next, we have a very exciting story. We're actually going to be reading from the book Holes. Have you ever read it? Have you ever watched the movie? Super exciting. If you haven't, listen here in this little excerpt that I pulled from the book. It says, Stanley Yelnats is under a curse that began with his no-good, dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather, and has since followed generations of Yelnatses. Now, Stanley has been unjustly sent to a boys' detention center, Camp Green Lake, where the boys build character by spending all day, every day, digging holes exactly 5 feet wide and 5 feet deep. There is no lake at Camp Green Lake, but there are an awful lot of holes. It doesn't take long for Stanley to realize there's more than character improvement going on at Camp Green Lake. The boys are digging holes because the warden is looking for something. But what could be buried under a dried up lake? Stanley tries to dig up the truth in this inventive and darkly humorous tale of crime and punishment and redemption. We're going to start reading this excerpt tomorrow. I am so excited. You guys are going to love it.